Quest Audiobooks presents an unabridged recording of Calling Down the Storm by Peter Murphy, narrated by Nick Holbek. Chapter 1. Wednesday, 28th of April, 1971. The man was sitting on the ground, his legs drawn up halfway towards his chest, his hands resting on his knees. In his right hand he held a knife, the blade 4 or 5 inches long, the brown plastic handle stained to look like wood. The knife was covered in blood. The woman was lying directly in front of the man, no more than 4 feet away from where he sat. She lay on her back, her arms stretched out at her sides, her eyes gazing absently up to the sky. A large pool of blood had formed around her, flowing from her neck and midriff and spreading under her legs. She was dying. It had started to rain, but neither noticed. D.I. Johnny Webb and D.S. Phil Raymond arrived at the scene within 5 minutes of the call coming in. The killing took place in Dombey Street, a stone's throw from Holborn Police Station in Lamb's Conduit Street, where the officers were just starting a break in the canteen. Leaving their cups of tea untouched, they commandeered P.C. Williams, a young uniformed constable who was making a start on a bacon and egg sandwich at the next table. The 3 of them ran at full speed across Lamb's Conduit Street, turning left into Dombey Street less than a minute after leaving the police station. One look at the man was enough to tell them that they had a serious problem. They stopped abruptly and desperately tried to evaluate the situation. It didn't look promising. They knew that an ambulance had already been dispatched from Great Ormond Street Hospital, which, like the police station, was only a street or 2 away. Great Ormond Street is a children's hospital, not a specialist emergency unit, but it was a case of any port in a storm. Help was on the way, and that was good. But before the ambulance crew had any chance of helping the woman, something had to be done about the man holding the knife. The woman's body was lying just off Dombey Street at the entrance to a narrow courtyard called Harpur Mews. The man was sitting in the entrance itself, with his back to the street, taking up most of its width and blocking access to her. There was no time to lose. The officers exchanged several urgent hand signals. Webb took the lead. He approached the entrance quietly and began to feel his way gingerly towards a position in front of the man, making as wide an arc as he could in the limited space around the man's left side. Raymond, treading as lightly as he could, made a direct approach towards the man's back until he was within touching distance.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?